Football contest season is back, and so is the Las Vegas Football Contest Show. Season 2, the sharpest football contest show in the land. Focusing on all 3 Circus Sports contests and the Westgate Superbook Super Contest, we handicap the games and release our contest picks every week of the season. Featuring Super Contest champions Brady Cannon, James Salinas, and former NFL player Mike Pritchard, all team will have you prepared this season like none other. Check us out every weekend right here on SportsGrid.
I'm done with the Buffalo Bills, and I'm not upset about it because they look vulnerable. I cannot believe this team is 4-0 because they could easily be 1-3. They go on their heels, and I can't believe they have not one but 2 double-digit victories in games they could have very well lost.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
Are we going to sit here today and acknowledge that the Indianapolis Colts right now are the best team in the AFC?
They are right now.
They can run the football with Taylor. They got a competent quarterback the way he's playing right now in Daniel Jones. They are well coached.
They never punt.
They never punt.
They never punt.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
Question, where's the $100,000 going? Like, am I going to give it to Amari DiMercato as an apology? It does give us a little bit of insight, though, into that moment. Like, I wondered what Gannon had said to DiMercato there. It obviously did, cost Arizona a football game in a division that they cannot afford. But that is an interesting one.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
Hour number 2, it's how we get down on the early line SportsGrid Network on a glorious Thursday. At least it is sunny in Philadelphia today. We'll see if that turns to dark clouds a little bit later tonight. But it's Joe Ranieri, it's Sonny Right Side. It's what we do. 1 hour to go. The energy certainly is high. And the Hot Topics show, they're going to continue to pour through with us.
Yeah, I can't wait, Donnie. A lot going on here. Got a lot of football tonight, college, NFL, more urgency in Major League Baseball. You got to love here. The NHL is back, and, the NBA preseason underway. It's about to get crazy here over the next couple of months.
How about Joe taking some dogs last night on the ice? The dogs were barking all over the place here. A lot of goals to be scored, overtime action. Hockey is back here. And the Philadelphia Flyers, by the way, are going to play tonight. But again, they got to take on the Florida Panthers. Could have gave them a layup at this point. Could have given the Rangers. Like, the Rangers stink. Give the Philadelphia Flyers a layup and let them pound on the Rangers. But before we get to hockey, we got to go over, Joe, the early lineup. And that includes what happened last night in the Bronx. You know what today is? A lot of interviews, I assume, by the lockers with the big trash bags in the background as the Yankees season now is officially over. Didn't help that Aaron Judge actually had a good playoff series, but nobody else felt like they could actually help him out. Wasn't Cam Schlittler's fault last night. 6 1/3 innings pitched, 2 earned runs. He did his job. The rest of the Yankee bats didn't do their job. The Yankees are going home. Toronto is moving on after a 5-2 victory.
But I also know that we suck right now.
Yeah, we do pretty much. And listen, let the second guessing begin. I mean, Yankees didn't get burned. They didn't earn it. They didn't deserve it. And yes, everyone should be fired across the board. But come on, give me a break. How are the Mets doing in the postseason? How much money did they spend on a roster? And how did that work out for them? Let's all take a deep breath, relax. We'll figure out where to go from here, and all will be well next year when the Yankees, once again, don't have a losing season and return to the postseason, Donnie. It's rinse and repeat.
Exactly. I think you got to knock that stadium down. Like, just a crime that you covered up the old
You
Yankee
need something
Stadium with
new.
this Yankee Stadium. Just something new. Knock it down. They got money. I'm pretty sure they can go to government. Like, the Buffalo Bills has got a new stadium. Hey, look, we need a new stadium. Every 20 years or so, you're supposed to get a new one anyway. Coming close to 20 years on a new Yankee Stadium. Maybe that will change things up. But we'll see what happens with the New York Yankees over the next couple of days. The one thing that we do know is next year they will be in the playoffs. Just who's going to be those players, and also maybe just getting back Garrett Cole to fire up that lineup there in the starting pitching could be enough. Long off season for Yankees fans. We get it here. Let's keep moving. Kyler Murray day-to-day with a foot injury. That's not a great thing for a guy that's built on speed, out of the pocket, and maneuvering around. And you're going to play a good football team on turf this week. Something to keep an eye on, Joe.
It's just from bad to worse for this team. I mean, the distractions, the how they're losing games, and now what are you going to do? It's Jacoby Brissett is your backup for Arizona, and do we trust him to go to Indy? Oh yeah, by the way, didn't Brissett play in Indy? No, it's gone from bad to worse. Although Gannon says if he can go, he'll go. So it bears keeping an eye on, because if he can't, Donnie, what does this line go to? Where does this line go?
It's a hot 10 points. Like, we're talking the Colts, the resurgent Colts here at home. And even if he does play, Joe, it's one of those that you take a look like, oh, Kyler Murray's playing. Like, wait, he's not going to have those designed runs. He's not going to want to get out of the pocket like he does. You might be getting that added bonus there for the Colts, even if he does play in that game. But as we see there on that placard, day to day, aren't we all, Joe, as we like to say? Yeah. Who else is day-to-day? Brock Purdy not practicing. IR stint, maybe likely, maybe not likely. Still trying to work things out. But it's always nice to say, like, we don't have to force feed you in there. Why? Mac Jones is playing like a Pro Bowl caliber quarterback, Joe.
Yeah, except he's just as banged up as everybody else. I mean, we watched him last week in that game against the Rams, hobbling around, almost came out of the game. So they are a mash unit, make no mistake about it. But they need one of these two guys to be able to be under center here for this game against Tampa. But, Mac Jones certainly showed that, you know what, in the right system with the right coach, he can actually deliver some wins.
How about delivering information? That usually helps you out. How about if you're a head coach that's won multiple Coach of the Year awards, saying, hey, bring Joe in here. I want to talk to him about the weekly game plan. Where's Joe? Joe's in Cincinnati? Yeah, here's Kevin Stefanski talking about that move this week for Joe Flacco got traded.
Trade took us by surprise. That was not something that we saw coming. They called us, and it happened very fast and happened not too long ago. So still working through all roster type of things. I always have to be mindful of our players and our players' development, and I want to make sure that I'm always doing what's best for our players and of course our team. But with young players, I'm always thinking about last week making the change to Dylan. You have to think long and hard about that, because these are young players that you're so invested in their development. So I'll let the week play out and make a decision later on that.
It's not like he's about to throw a party. Like, that came up quick. They called us, and we couldn't ship him out here fast enough. Joe Flacco on the move out of Cleveland into Cincinnati. And by the way, he's starting this week. There's no layaway. There's no layoff at this point. He's in there.
Yeah, no, and apparently the word is that Flacco was spent the entire drive, I believe, down I-71 to Cincinnati on the phone with Zach Taylor there, going over the game plan for Green Bay. So but again, Donnie, he is one of the very few guys with over 200 starts in the NFL that has seen it, done it, including against Green Bay, who he just beat as a Cleveland Brown a couple of weeks ago.
Now, sometimes you get traded to a bad football team, which Cincinnati is. But if you're a quarterback and you get traded and you got two Ferraris at wide receiver, like, you know what? I might be 40 years old. I'm feeling 38 right now, baby. Let's get out there and sling some passes around. We'll see how it turns out this weekend, but not an easy task. Green Bay's a good football team. Green Bay's going to be rested and ready, but Joe Flacco's already seen Green Bay this year. Let's see what happens in that environment here. How about the NCAA? The one thing we do know about it, they don't have a lot of teeth because they just can't be everywhere at every time. They only have a certain amount of people that can investigate things. And when you're getting flooded with calls and teams turning themselves in to say, hey, help us out here, sometimes you go, I just need a lot off my plate. Basically what you're saying this year is, oh, no, you're going to let these guys bet on pro sports. They don't have enough time to police every single thing. So what they're saying, Joe, is, look, if they bet the NFL and they do that, it's not our fault. Just don't bet college football. Take something off our plate. And it looks like, Joe, that's what they're trying to do.
Listen, it keeps it real, Don. And the reality of the situation is all the compliance people in the world, if they have to sit there and monitor every NCAA athlete as to whether they're betting Belarus handball or not, it's just, there's always going to be things falling through the cracks. This way, you can just focus, and it's much easier to tell if any red flags, if any college actual athletics gets bet on. So it makes, you like things that make sense, and usually the NCAA doesn't do that.
Exactly. They never make any sense at this point, too. It's like, hey, man, we just had a $5 parlay come in from Rocco Becht on the Dallas Cowboys going up with the Denver Broncos. Can you investigate? They're like, no, we're not going to do that anymore. It is what it is. You know what else should be under investigation? How much money the North Carolina Tar Heels threw away on the Bill Belichick regime, where now we're hearing behind the scenes that he might want a soft landing to go back and talk in media and or another coaching job. Get out of here, man. I love this story.
The problem is this isn't the pros, it's college, and you can't just get rid of Bill Belichick. It's a nightmare situation, and North Carolina deserves it.
You know, this is a nightmare situation. Talking Jack Eichel getting paid at this point right now. Come on, Jack Eichel. Go back to Buffalo. Save the Sabres, Joe. Do you agree? Go back home and save the Buffalo Sabres. More action, which means the NFL. Let's get a little preview of what's going to happen this weekend. We'll be right back on the early line.
Enter into the magical world of McLuck.com, where even the smallest of spins can win real cash prizes. Adventure into over 1,000 of the best Vegas-style slot games. So what are you waiting for? Unlock your free welcome offer today. Join the fun where winners play and players win.
Well, Shadur, which quarterbacks are you talking about? Because there is some bad quarterback play out there, but the dude who can't beat Dylan Gabriel out for a job and can't beat Joe Flacco out for a job certainly can't lay claim to being better than any other quarterback in the league.
The Craig Carton Show. Only on SportsGrid.
Major League Baseball has decided it is time to put balls and strikes not just in the hands of the umpires, but also the robot umpires, as they say. The ABS system is now officially in place starting next season. Now, keep in mind, they're not just throwing this out there. They have used this at the Arizona Fall League, and they've also used it at different levels of the minor leagues as well.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
That's a lot for a closer. 10. That's you're not a closer anymore if you blow 10 games. I mean, my goodness. That's
he's mentally broken too. Like, it's to the point where, like, Dodger fans aren't even mad at him; they're more mad at the Dodgers for putting him out there.
Putting him in,
right? It's more so.
Right.
Yeah, it's like, guys, like, he's done.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid. It's the most beautiful time of the year. No, not because of foliage or pumpkin spice lattes. It's because of football. SportsGrid has you covered all season long, covering every snap, every score, and every line move. Prepare, watch, win. Weekends are for winners. Only on SportsGrid.
By the way, Joe, we're going to talk a little NFL action right now and get a little Sunday preview, take a look at where these lines are going. But as we always like to say, like if a tree falls in the forest but nobody hears it, did the tree actually fall? The WNBA apparently is in the finals and a 3-0 lead for the Aces. And I'll tell you one good thing is here. Hopefully they can make it 4-0 because the sooner it ends, the better for everybody at this point. But I just learned that the WNBA did have a game last night. Did you watch? Did you enjoy it? Did you bet? Did you win?
Donnie, I was this close to watching, and then I forgot because I was too busy being aggravated watching the Yankee game. So, but I think it went well. I think there were people actually in the stands, and that's half the battle, right?
You know what the good part about this is, too? I don't think it's the good part about it, but I looked at the score and I saw the Aces won, but I didn't look to see who they're playing. Joe, I have no idea who they're even playing in the WNBA finals. Like, is that my fault?
I believe
like,
the Phoenix,
I know,
yeah.
The Phoenix, the Mercury.
The Phoenix Mercury.
Right, okay, Phoenix Mercury, fantastic Aces. Yep. Enjoy yourself out there. Get that over soon enough. Tell me, Joe, make me commissioner of the WNBA. This season would end August the 31st, and we'll enjoy it. Has anybody even turned their television on to a WNBA game? You had 4 Major League Baseball playoff games yesterday, and the hockey season started. And the WNBA played. Stop the madness. Let's get to the NFL. Let's get the sports that actually matter. Seattle and Jacksonville, big game here. AFC, NFC, Jacksonville, home team. Seattle on the road, 1.5-point number, 47.5. Coming from the Pacific Northwest down to Jacksonville. Close game here. Lawrence versus Darnold. Love this game, Joe. Where are we going with it?
I don't know. Donnie, call me crazy, but it feels like we might be getting some points in this game here. I was focusing on the total. It's interesting that, you got a short week here for Jacksonville, but obviously they showed that, they're capable of putting 300, 400 yards up here, and guys can get involved. And they made the plays when they needed to here. And Seattle's defense is really banged up, having to travel across the country here now to take on a Jacksonville team at home. It's going to be hot. It's going to be humid. Feels like both defenses could struggle a little bit here. Points, I think, are absolutely coming in this one.
How about this one? Arizona and Indianapolis. We talked about this multiple times on the show. Not really the handicap of the game, but Kyler Murray being day-to-day, missing practice with a foot injury. Joe, the total in this game staying at 47.5, but we did have line movement throughout the week. The look ahead was 3.5. We knew that would jump because why? The Colts are still a pretty good program at this point now. But also the 6s and 6.5s now, Joe, turning into 7s at most outlets with the news of Kyler Murray being down. I got to tell you, Kyler Murray plays or doesn't play, I still think Indy handles their business here.
We told you this week, this was one of our spread line games that we had mentioned early on and said, keep an eye on what's going on here. The Colts have been one of the mispriced teams by the books early this year, Donnie, where they just can't seem to figure it out, right? How does this line open up 3.5, 4? Are you kidding?
Yeah.
It was quickly bet up to 6.5. And we said, will it get to that key number of 7? I did think, even without the Kyler Murray news, that you are probably going to get more Indy money as the week goes on. Now that this is out, if he is actually scratched and Jacoby Brissett's the quarterback, I would expect this thing to get to 9, 9.5, no problem. Bet it sooner rather than later.
17-0 last week. That was the deficit that the Carolina Panthers had at home to the Miami Dolphins. Like, dude, they're going to fire Dave Canales before this game even ends. Nice comeback victory for the Carolina Panthers, which I don't know where that leaves the Miami Dolphins. But Dallas comes to town after a great offensive performance last week, Joe. 46.5 is the opening number on the total for this game between the Panthers and the Cowboys. We're now seeing 49.5 across the board. But Dallas, look ahead line, 3.5. That's dipped to 3 now. Still majority of the tickets coming in on the Dallas Cowboys. A little reverse line movement there.
Yeah, big time. So you're seeing that, Donnie, right? The public sees the Cowboys. Boy, they just destroyed the Jets. The Jets in Carolina are equally as bad. So, yeah, by proxy, let's go ahead. Let's just bet the Cowboys. The problem is the line is not going to 4, 4.5. It's going to 3 here. And if it's one thing that we learned last week, Donnie, it's that Bryce Young in Carolina, they're pretty good at home, including Bryce Young being 9-5 against the number as a home dog in his career. They're already 2-0 at home this season as compared to 0-3 on the road. Doesn't shock me that the pros, while the public is running left, the pros are running right here in this game.
We always have more 1 o'clock games on Sunday afternoon. We understand that because the NFL wants to capitalize on the 4 o'clock window and put a national game that everybody gets to watch and be that center standing one. I'll tell you what, this game is not going to be that national standing game that you want to watch. A 4:05 start. Tennessee and Las Vegas. Vegas is a favorite here. By the way, Vegas' look-ahead line, Joe, around 6.5. That's down to 4.5 and even a 3.5 showing up at DraftKings right now. A total of 41.5 in that game. Brutality. When bad teams play bad teams, can you make some money on it, Joe?
Yeah, well, again, you're starting to see, right? People, and I couldn't get over how many people loved the Raiders last week. But Geno and Smith as a favorite, guys, 11, 20, and 2 against the number as a favorite. Call me crazy here, but winning is contagious. I think Tennessee getting that first win was... Yeah, I think they can roll that into making this game a field goal game. And don't forget, Brock Bowers won't be back till at least week 7. That is a big issue right now for this offense of the Raiders. Yeah, I'll take Tennessee in the points. I agree with where the line is going.
Let's go overseas, Joe. Your New York Jets getting 7 to 7.5, depending where you're shopping at. In the total, that's still set at 43.5. Justin Fields and the boys taking on Denver overseas, 9:30 a.m. You'll be up early with your Jets jersey on, ready to go for the first win.
I will not, under any circumstances, be watching this game in any way, shape, or form. I want to enjoy my Sunday breakfast instead of watching the Jets play football, Donnie. Yeah, no, I don't get this. I think the Denver Broncos go over there. Again, don't forget, first rookie head coach in Glenn having all sorts of issues. Now this is his first time overseas trying to figure out how to navigate all of that. Yeah, no, I'll take the Broncos in a rout.
Who was your guy on the sack exchange, Joe? Was it Klecko? Was it Gastineau? Like, who was your boy out there back in the day?
Oh, Marty Lyons, man. You're missing the heart and soul of that defense. What's wrong with you? Come on.
I love the fact that the left side of that line hated the right side of that line, man.
Right
the New York
side,
sack exchange. Yeah, fantastic stuff over there. We'll be right back with more action next.
Football contest season is back, and so is the Las Vegas Football Contest Show. Season 2, the sharpest football contest show in the land. Focusing on all 3 Circus Sports contests and the Westgate Superbook Super Contest, we handicap the games and release our contest picks every week of the season. Featuring Super Contest champions Brady Cannon, James Salinas, and former NFL player Mike Pritchard, all team will have you prepared this season like none other. Check us out every weekend right here on SportsGrid.
I'm done with the Buffalo Bills, and I'm not upset about it because they look vulnerable. I cannot believe this team is 4-0 because they could easily be 1-3. They go on their heels, and I can't believe they have not 1 but 2 double-digit victories in games they could have very well lost.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
Are we going to sit here today and acknowledge that the Indianapolis Colts right now are the best team in the AFC?
They are right now.
They can run the football with Taylor. They got a competent quarterback the way he's playing right now in Daniel Jones. They are well coached.
They never punt.
They never punt.
They never punt.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
Question, where's the $100,000 going? Like, if I'm going to give it to Amari DiMercato as an apology? It does give us a little bit of insight, though, into that moment. Like, I wondered what Gannon had said to DiMercato there. It obviously did, cost Arizona a football game in a division that they cannot afford. But that is an interesting one.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
Game of the week, line it up. The Detroit Lions and the Kansas City Chiefs. The under 500 Kansas City Chiefs. Yeah, they lost on Monday Night Football against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now they get to come home and play a really good football team in the Lions, who have resurrected their season after a pretty embarrassing performance week number 1 against the Green Bay Packers. Goff, Mahomes. And how about this, Joe? It looks like about 8.5 out of every 10 tickets coming in on the Detroit Lions on the road. Look ahead line, -1.5. Line today, -2.5 at most outlets, and a total up from 48.5 to 52.5. The public loves Detroit, and the public loves this total, but some interesting reverse line movement on the side itself, Joe.
Yeah, Donnie, we talked about that last hour there in our spread lines, how this is crazy, right? A lot of the public apparently saw this line open up and said, wait a minute, Detroit is the dog? Oh, it's the wrong team favorite, And you mentioned it. The spread tickets and the money all seem to be going towards Detroit. The only problem is the only thing that's not following is this spread, which is now up to 2.5, because this thing opened up -1, 1.5, and we continue to see the money coming in on Kansas City. Detroit is what we call that trendy dog this week, right? You had a lot of people saw them opening up with a plus number next to them, and that was it. No way. Let's hammer the Lions. Well, yeah, this is a true bet against the public play of week 6 right here, Donnie, in this game. Not to mention, whoever gets, I don't know, the last stop is going to win this game, because points are definitely coming.
Another heavy public favorite. By the way, we have a doubleheader on Monday Night Football. Like to see that 7:15 and 8:15. That game number 1 is Buffalo and Atlanta. Josh Allen, Michael Penix here. 6.5 out of every 10 tickets here coming in on the Buffalo Bills, Joe. Look ahead line 4.5. Line, where does it sit today? Still at 4.5 and a total of 49.5. I do think we get some points, and it's hard to bet against the Buffalo Bills, but the public is lining with the Bills. Just no line movement just yet.
Yeah, and this is kind of dead man's land, is what they call it for the books, Donnie. We talked about this earlier as well. Anytime you start seeing 4, 4.5, 5, 5.5, the books are basically saying, yeah, God, you tell us which way to go here, because there is no clear favorite. These are not key numbers, not even close. But I'll tell you this, the Bills, who turned the ball over 3 times last week and did a great job of shooting themselves in the foot. Buffalo, by the way, 17-4 straight up the week after committing that many turnovers or more, and they're 14-2 straight up as a favorite. And we all know that Buffalo really good bouncing back after a loss here, Donnie, and that's exactly what they'll be looking to do here. I like Buffalo, but I don't think you're going to get 3.5 or 6.5, 7. It's not going to get to that point. I think it's going to stay right where it is. Just figure out who you like to win the game, and that's where the money can be made.
Yeah, I like Josh Allen prop bets in this game. I also like Drake London prop bets on the opposite side. We'll see if we can get down to business here. No worries about weather. Why? We're on a fast track. It's in a dome down south. We'll see how that one plays out. Game number 2 will be from the nation's capital. That's the Chicago Bears going to take on the Washington Boys. And Washington himself, for the Commanders, 4.5-point favorite. Nice win last week against the Chargers, where I thought the Chargers would handle their business, but all those injuries just continue to creep up for the Chargers. But credit Washington for handling their business. They're favored by 4.5 and a total of 49.5. By the way, it feels like I haven't talked about the Chicago Bears in 2 months. Did they not play for 3 straight weeks? Finally back at it feels like.
It's crazy, right? But the problem is Caleb Williams under center for the Bears. 0-4 in prime time games, Donnie. There is nobody less prime time than Caleb Williams and this Bears team here. In the meantime, you got Washington. We just watched Jaden Daniels. Didn't seem to be suffering from any lingering effects with the knee injury that kept him out a couple of weeks. This offense of Washington can score. I think they're going to score a lot here on this Commanders defense. I got no problem backing Washington to get it done here.
Yeah, I liked it. By the way, how do you feel about these Monday night doubleheader slates, Joe? Are you a fan of those? Would you rather at 7:15 and 10:15 or just one game on Monday night? I actually like the 7:15 and the 8:15 start because you like to get multiple bets in. That's what most people like to do in the betting public. But also, if one game stinks, at least you have one game enough to wait for. You get to just flip the channel. I like that.
Yeah, I don't mind it at all, Donnie. I think, separating by an hour or more there gives you an opportunity to, listen, if it works out, you can have a Monday night teaser opportunity, a couple of money line parlays, a lot of different ways to approach it.
A lot of different ways to beat up the North Carolina Tar Heels, which we're going to do next. Bill Belichick, who just threw a left punch? It was Hulu. Down for the count. Down goes Bill. Keep this on me for now, right now.
Uh-oh.
I was the one telling the people out here, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, if they lost the first 2 football games of the season, would still be in the hunt to make a college football playoff. I talked to Joe Lisi quite a bit during the week, and you know what Joe Lisi's been telling me? Notre Dame just might be the best football team in the country right now, and I believe him. I do. Rolling over teams. The offense is out there right now, and I don't think anybody can stop them.
SportsGrid's College Football Today.
Is it going to be Gabriel over the next 4 or 5 weeks? Or is it going to be...
I know.
Is it going to, but that's where they're at right now. Because that mentality, changes. We go from rebuild at 1-3 to all of a sudden at 2-3, the bell goes off and he, in his head, sitting, probably drinking a beer at night, goes, hey, I can get this team to the playoffs.
Hey, listen,
but that's the way these coaches think.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
So let's just start right there. Malik Neighbors, Tyreek Hill, done for 2025. Think of the managers that invested the draft capital. Man, oh man, what to do?
Yeah, this is really tough. I had people message me, man, I had Neighbors and Hill, and I lost them both in the same week. That's tough. It's a tough day at the office for sure, and that's why you watch us here on FST, Fantasy Sports Today. We're trying to help you.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
At this event, people from Amazon and Alexa made it very clear that in addition to Sports Highlight coming up, you will be able to perhaps buy sports tickets to events, buy movie tickets, arrange fantasy football teams, and I think somewhere down the road, maybe not too far down the road, given the NBA on Prime deal, they will allow sports betting on the television set through Alexa Plus.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
I love this next story. I love doing this show, The Early Line, with my guy, Joe Ranieri, because sometimes we say, oh, let's handicap, let's break down games, let's give the people the information that they want. But every once in a while, you got to stop on a story and be like, I think we told you so in this. And this is North Carolina. Bill Belichick goes to Carolina, Chapel Bill, and he's going to turn this around. We're going to have a pro-style offense, pro-style defense. Everybody's going to want to play for Bill Belichick. It's going to be a dream in the making. Bill Belichick's going to make a lot of money. He's going to steal money for his kid to be on staff. He's going to bring ahead Mike Lombardi, who's one of the worst GMs and professional, intel guys you can have to run a college football program as a GM. And look what we see now. The Tar Heels are terrible. And when everybody was jumping on board, and we're going to talk about the Hulu deal in a moment, Joe, but do you remember opening night at home? Michael Jordan was in the building. It was a sold-out crowd. ESPN is like, we're going to move heaven and earth to make sure you have your own primetime slot here because we can't get enough of Chapel Bill. We're going to have the college football guys in town. It's going to be such a big night. And that place was emptying out early. Like, oh, my God. North Carolina got at this point. It's been nothing short of a disaster. And now they're trying to say, hey, hold on for next year when we recruit more freshmen. You've got to be kidding me right now. And Hulu has now dropped the documentary. Why? Because nobody would want to watch it. And by the way, I think people would just hate watching and be like, yeah, let's watch them win 4 games and how embarrassing it is. Hulu cut bait. The fans cut bait. Oh, North Carolina, what a mistake you made.
Yeah, well, they did too, Donnie. And here's the thing. This isn't the pros, right? I mean, owners hold all the power and leverage, right? So if let's say Jerry Jones decides that, you know what, you're done, I'm finished, he goes to the couch cushions. He rips up, he rips out a couple of $1 million, pays the guy, says, see you later. I'll bring in whoever I want. You can't do that in college here, Donnie. That's not how it works. There are reports of at least $25 million on salaries were signed off on this year for Belichick and his staff. And quite honestly, that's probably on the low end. Who are we kidding? Increased recruiting budgets, marketing, we're talking about tons of money that has been dumped here. You just can't cut ties now. You're talking about a payout that would be north of 20 million plus just for him. But the problem is now you've got the board of trustees, you've got a GM, you've got all these layers of red tape that you will have to go through. None of it is easy. The bottom line is North Carolina, you made your bed with Bill Belichick, and congratulations, you're going to have to sleep in it for quite a while.
And you can turn teams around. Case in point, I'm not saying they're supposed to be Florida State, right? But Florida State had a horrible football team, went out, paid a lot of money, and now are playing meaningful football games. We'll see where Castellanos and the boys end up at the end of the season. But it's not as if it's like, this is going to be a long thing. 4 years, we have to get 4 recruiting classes in here. You can improve overnight if you have a coach that players want to play for and money and NIL, and they had everything here. And the fact it's been so short of a train wreck this early into the season, I absolutely love to see it. We'll see where they go. Hulu drops them. Who knows? Because it felt like always the money grab. Look at this. I'm going to steal a little bit of money from Carolina. I'm going to show the Patriots that I can still run a franchise and it's going to be in college. But more importantly, my son's going to take over. When Bill Belichick escapes, is Carolina hey, Stephen Belichick, awesome, man. So happy to have the Belichick bloodlines here still in the building. They're going to fire everybody and remove that. Be careful what you wish for, Carolina. You just might be getting it here, selling yourself to the devil at this point. Next up, Deion Sanders, back at practice. The man doesn't give up. He loves the players. He loves the university. He loved the kids. We just got to get more wins for Coach Prime now, right? Sheesh.
Well, it's funny because he's got a 5-star quarterback that signed with him. Getting kids to come there, his recruiting acumen has been phenomenal. But, once his son left and both sons left, of course, Hunter is now a Jacksonville Jaguar, it was going to take a little while to try and put those pieces together. Listen, the guy is a competitor. Nobody wants to lose, especially Deion. What this guy is battling health-wise, Donnie, and still on the sidelines and recruiting and doing all of that. The guy is a warrior, and I have no doubt that let it see it through because I absolutely believe Colorado will be better over the next couple of seasons with him.
Speaking of Colorado, how about getting better over the next couple of seasons? How about this week, Joe? Iowa State comes to town to take on Colorado. That line opened up that look at around 4.5, down to 2.5 and 3s in the marketplace, and a total sitting around 51.5 to 52.5, depending where you're shopping. Iowa State and Rocco back in town to take on Deion in Colorado.
Yeah, listen, Colorado and Deion have been fantastic, Donnie. At home, especially as a dog here. And Iowa State kind of coming off of that loss there to Cincinnati. And the thing that you have to worry about sometimes with teams like that is that, they were perfect up until they weren't against Cincinnati. They're dealing with a ton of injuries. They are not the same team that we watched in Dublin, right, in week 0, handle business against Kansas State. They've lost key players on both sides of the football. And now you got to worry about, do they come out flat, Donnie, in Colorado, in the altitude, and a team that they think they should be better than? This is a dangerous spot for Iowa State and Matt Campbell for sure.
Still tough to say. Big Ten action this weekend between Indiana and Oregon, but it's a new world that we do live in. And 2 head coaches here. Your fan base loves those guys. The opposing fan base hates those guys. And that's what we love to see when these 2 teams are going to get together. A 7.5-point number, 7's now, sitting at DraftKings, down from double digits on the look-ahead line, and a total 51.5 now up to 55.5. Austin is going to be rocking this weekend in the Pacific Northwest. Indiana and Oregon, Joe. What gives here?
Oh, this is a huge, and absolutely huge game for both of these teams, right? Oregon, you just pulled off the upset on the road in one of the toughest places to play in the world, and a whiteout there at Oregon State and Happy Valley at Penn State. And now Indiana, congratulations. They went to Iowa, had a, boy, what a game that was, but eventually ended up winning this game. Now they're going to go on the road. Both these coaches have no problem, give a hand, take an arm. They will step on your throat and they will ram it down in both these guys if you allow them. I think this game goes a long way into deciding who makes who's in the top echelon, so to speak, of the college football playoffs. But until Indiana can beat a team, a legit elite team, and I think Oregon is in that category because they couldn't do it. All the fanfare last year, Ohio State waxed them at the end of the regular season. Notre Dame crushed them there in the playoffs. So can they do it on the road? If they do, Donnie, then we got a serious conversation to be had on Monday about Indiana's chances of winning it all.
I need more bulletin board material. I need Signetti to be like, we went to, or this place is not, it's dead quiet every time I've been here. Like, fire it up, Sig. You know you love to do that. Let's see it happen. Talking about being on the road again, that's the Ohio State Buckeyes on the road going to Champaign. That's Ohio State and Illinois. 2-touchdown favorite for the Buckeyes here over the Fighting Illini. And a total, Joe, that's now dipping below 50. It's now down to 49.5 at just about every outlet. Number 1 versus number 17.
Yeah, no, to me, this is all about defense. Ohio State has one of the best. Illinois does not here. And I like the approach to the young quarterback, Julian Sayin here for Ohio State. I like how they brought him along. But Matt Patricia and what he's got going on with this defense of Ohio State, pretty special. Defense travels, Donnie. I think Illinois, much like Indiana's defense did to him, made him look silly. That could very well happen in this one as well.
Let's slip one in real quick. Alabama and Missouri, Joe, roughly a 3 to 3.5 point favorite for the Crimson Tide on the road. Should they be on upset alert, people?
This is gonna, let's see here. Let's see what you got, Kalen DeBoer and Alabama, because the line has been nothing but Missouri money from the opening here, Donnie. But I'm telling you, wait, the money is coming back for Alabama before kickoff here. I think they are the better team Miller. And they win the game easily. Yep, give it to me.
Jan Miller, remember that name. And also remember this man, Cam Stewart, the Prime Minister. Canada, celebrate, baby. Keep this on me for now, right now. Uh-oh. I was the one telling the people out here, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, if they lost the first 2 football games of the season, would still be in the hunt to make a college football playoff. I talked to Joe Lisi quite a bit during the week, and you know what Joe Lisi's been telling me? Notre Dame just might be the best football team in the country right now, and I believe him. I do. Rolling over teams. The offense is out there right now, and I don't think anybody can stop them.
SportsGrid's College Football Today.
Is it going to be Gabriel over the next 4 or 5 weeks? Or is it going to be...
I know.
Is it going to, but that's where they're at right now. Because that mentality, changes. We go from rebuild at 1-3 to all of a sudden at 2-3, the bell goes off, and he, in his head, probably drinking a beer at night, goes, hey, I can get this team to the playoffs.
Listen,
but that's the way these coaches think.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
So let's just start right there. Malik Neighbors, Tyreek Hill, done for 2025. Think of the managers that invested the draft capital. Man, oh man, what to do?
Yeah, this is really tough. I had people message me, man, I had Neighbors and Hill, and I lost them both in the same week. That's tough. It's a tough day at the office for sure. And that's why you watch us here on FST, Fantasy Sports Today. We're trying to help you.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
At this event, people from Amazon and Alexa made it very clear that in addition to Sports Highlight coming up, you will be able to perhaps buy sports tickets to events, buy movie tickets, arrange fantasy football teams, and I think somewhere down the road, maybe not too far down the road, given the NBA on Prime deal, they will allow sports betting on the television set through Alexa Plus.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
Your Thursday just got better. Why? Yeah, you're looking at Donnie right side on the screen. Yes, you're looking at Joe Ranieri, but the addition of the Prime Minister of Canada, Cam Stewart, joins the show. The energy will be high, and it might as well be Canada Day. Toronto handles their business. We're here, Cam. Welcome in.
Please, SportsGrid, don't cut my mic. A lot of Yankee fans at the networks. It's not personal. Just we haven't had a winner in a long time, Donnie. Toronto, the city of losing, is now winning. It's unbelievable. With all the heartache of the Toronto Maple Leafs, the Prime Minister can rejoice. It's going to be interesting, too. Who are we going to play? Is it going to be Seattle? A lot of people in Vancouver, Mariner fans, or just across the border from Detroit and Windsor. A lot of Detroit fans hate Blue Jays. So geographically, it sets up very well for a fun series either way. Gotta love it. Guys like Lucas riding the bus, Donnie. Huge hits. You know, like all these guys just totally grinding. Vladdy found his groove. He hits so well at Yankee Stadium. And I can't believe a bullpen game and the Yankees get one. I like that 2 runs. Judge was the only thing they had. I got to tell you, the Yankees, you're not going to do it with one guy. You guys got to figure it out because the rest of your lineup, it reeks.
Yeah, we're going to get to some Major League Baseball in a moment, Cam, but hockey is underway. Yes. We've seen it for 2 nights, a large slate on deck tonight. I'm a Flyers fan. They're going to take on the Stanley Cup champion Florida Panthers tonight after the Panthers get that victory opening day against the Chicago Blackhawks. How do we feel about hockey, Cam, and how do we treat the early season betting it?
Hockey! I don't know what we do, Donnie. We take dogs, kind of like in baseball, but I'll tell you one thing. The dogs were barking last night. The Kings, after a brutal performance, they beat Vegas. Edmonton. The Stanley Cup, one of the favorites again. 3-goal lead, Calgary. They say, who cares? We win 4-3 in this game. Unbelievable stuff. The dogs are barking early. I'll tell you this, Donnie. The Flyers, they're an interesting team. Plus 160 on FanDuel, plus 1.5. A lot of good young players on their team. Florida coming off that win. Let's remember in the first period, they dominated the Blackhawks. But the Blackhawks, after a Foligno fight, kind of got back in the game. This could be a spot for the Flyers. We don't like these, public dogs, but plus 160, all bite. Yeah. This one's for you, Tommy Reynolds. I know you're a Rochester Americans guy, but the big team, the Buffalo Sabres at home against the listless Rangers. Can we get plus 102? We can in overtime. Snuggeroo does it again. Buffalo over the Rangers. The Rangers, guys, I watched that game and they put me to sleep. And it takes a lot to put me to sleep. They looked awful in the first game. Buffalo, at least, we know one thing. They'll come out and play well in the first game. Tommy will tell you, too. Not a great recipe for winning money long-term, but they got to show up. This is a home opener for Buffalo. The fans deserve it. We're getting a better price. So, Donnie, those are 2 dogs I'm looking at on Frozen Water tonight.
Love it.
All right, so we got Thursday night football, Giants and Eagles tonight as well,
yes.
Cam. And let's be right. Do we trust the Eagles offense here?
Don't you dare go with the dog, Cam. Don't you dare go dog here, Cam.
Donnie, Prime Minister turning president or mayor of Philadelphia. This is what we're doing tonight with this game. We found a 7. Guys, if you like the Giants, this is important. Shop around. Like on FanDuel, you get that hook. And that could be very, very decisive. It's just huge, right, Donnie, in that game? But I'm going to tell you this. It's the Saquon Barkley coming out party tonight. I can't take the Giants. The Eagles have been absolutely listless. But one thing I know, these guys hate each other more than anything. Philly fan, Giant fan. If you're going to get it right, guys, we're going to get it right tonight. I'm laying it down with the Eagles. It's not my favorite game on the slate, on the NFL slate, definitely. But I think we can cover 7. Also, this total is so low, guys, but I like the under. What do you guys think about that under 40.5? I see the Eagles deep. I see kind of like a 23-10 type of game, 26-10 Eagles, like 13 maybe. I see it just staying under the number. I like the favorite in this spot and Barkley to go off. Him and Cam Scatabo for a touchdown parlays over 3-1. I think Scatabo gets the touchdown for the Giants. I don't even think they get one in the game. And I think Barkley goes off finally. They got to get that game going, Donnie. I've never seen negative plays with the Eagles. What is happening? The Giants could be a recipe for success tonight. And I see their defense really stepping up against Jackson Dart.
No, I think you're on point with that, Cam, because when you do take a look at the Giants' offense, as we were breaking it down, is really bad. The Eagles' defense under Vic Fangio is really good. It's a short work week. It's a rookie quarterback. They shouldn't get over their team total 16.5. So I'm not a big teaser guy, Cam, but teasing the Eagles and then teasing the under in this game to make it 46.5, 47, I think makes a lot of sense tonight. But we do have 2 Major League Baseball games, elimination shots, Cam. 6 o'clock tonight, Philadelphia and Los Angeles, then Milwaukee and Chicago. Do you have your eye on either one of these games, or heck, why not both?
Why not both, Donnie? Let's do both. I'll take the Dodgers
on.
tonight. Surprisingly, I thought they might break out the brooms the way I thought the Blue Jays did, but this is baseball. Teams aren't going to be rolling over. You got to throw everything at them. I'm getting Glasnow at 25 cents. I'm down with the Dodgers. And right now, TBD, do you guys know starters on my sites? I'm seeing to be determined pitchers for Brewers and Cubs. I have a lean to the Brew Crew in this game. They almost came back and won the last time. I think they're a better team than the Cubs, and I think they get it done. So that's what I'm looking at right now. Two small favorites in the Dodgers and the Brewers. Joe, are you betting this golf in Japan? It used to be the Zozo. You remember the Led Zeppelin album? Very strong. But I'm going to say this. I had no idea. The name of this tournament, I'm like, what the hell is the Bay Current Classic? It sounds like a lawn bowling tournament. Anyway, Max Gracerman is now the favorite at 12-1. But if you're looking for somebody, watch out for Alex Noren. He is 15-1. He's won two of his last four tournaments. And Joe, another horseshoes and hand grenades last week with Garrett Higo. My girlfriend's like, woo, we're going to win a couple dimes. And there goes Higo into the rough. And then I lose. But anyway, we were in a good hedge situation when a guy named Stephen Fisk, who's Stephen Fisk? Anyways, 200-1. That's what happens on the PGA Tour in the silly season. Watch out for Noren this week, guys. This guy's a world class.
Night golf, Cam.
Yeah, so 6 o'clock.
9 o'clock at night.
5:45 p.m. I'm like, whoa, man, what's going on here?
That's crazy.
Oh, it is stupid. Yeah, it's very stupid. So, yeah, that's what we're doing tonight, guys. Yeah.
By the way, Cam, we need a CFL update. Cam, we need a CFL update up here. Come on now.
Cam, am I betting the Seattle Mariners to win it all now, or am I betting Toronto to win it all now? I'm just saying. Is it Toronto or Seattle?
I'm going to be honest with you, Joe. I don't want to see any part of Seattle. I think the Jays can handle Detroit, but the Mariners with that pitching and the way that I do not want anything to do with the Seattle Mariners. They might be going to the World Series. Watch out. What do we got this week in the CFL, Donnie? The Saskatchewan Roughriders minus that. Oh, you like the Ticats?
No.
I do like the Ticats this week. -2 against the Stampeders. Roughriders to kill Argonauts. And what do we got? Elks and Blue Bombers. Let's take the dog and the Elks. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Cam Stewart, baby. Energy. You know Cam brings it here. Love it, man. We'll be right back. Keep this on me for now, right now. I was the one telling the people out here, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, if they lost the first 2 football games of the season, would still be in the hunt to make a college football playoff. I talked to Joe Lisi quite a bit during the week, and you know what Joe Lisi's been telling me? Notre Dame just might be the best football team in the country right now, and I believe him. I do. Rolling over teams. The offense is out there right now, and I don't think anybody can stop them.
SportsGrid's College Football Today.
Is it going to be Gabriel over the next 4 or 5 weeks? Or is it going to be...
I know.
Is it going to, but that's where they're at right now. Because that mentality, changes. We go from rebuild at 1-3 to all of a sudden at 2-3, the bell goes off and he, in his head, probably drinking a beer at night, goes, hey, I can get this team to the playoffs.
Listen,
but that's the way these coaches think.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
So let's just start right there. Malik Neighbors, Tyreek Hill, done for 2025. Think of the managers that invested the draft capital. Man, oh man, what to do?
Yeah, this is really tough. I had people message me, man, I had Neighbors and Hill, and I lost them both in the same week. That's tough. It's a tough day at the office for sure, and that's why you watch us here on FST, Fantasy Sports Today. We're trying to help you.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
At this event, people from Amazon and Alexa made it very clear that in addition to Sports Highlight coming up, you will be able to perhaps buy sports tickets to events, buy movie tickets, arrange fantasy football teams, and I think somewhere down the road, maybe not too far down the road, given the NBA on Prime deal, they will allow sports betting on the television set through Alexa Plus.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
We always tell you the energy's high. It's what happens on the early line. The energy kicks in here. Cam Stewart once one of our favorite guests here each and every week on Thursday, breaking it all down, all sports across the board to get you ready for today's action. But you know what we like to do now, Joe? Before we end the show, reach out to the public, see what their opinion is on a certain topic we give out. It's our Fade the Public poll. What are you guys doing? You watch the show each and every day, Monday through Friday. You know the poll's coming out. Oh, no, Donnie, just forgot. Where's it actually at? Easy on X at SportsGrid. The question we asked today, what is your best bet for tonight's Thursday night football matchup between the Eagles and the Giants? You got asked an over or an under or a side, the Eagles or the Giants. We listed the price there at the Eagles at -7.5, the Giants at +7.5, and the total, Joe, 40.5 to the over or under. How about this? Live look. 32.9% right now, favored with the Philadelphia Eagles. I back the Eagles. Why? Because that's what I'm going to do tonight. And hint, hint, in just a few more moments, I'm going to tell you why. But, Joe, where did you go tonight? Over, under, Eagles, Giants. What was it?
Well, I mean, Cam had just said it that he said, well, look at that total. It's a little bit low, but it's a little bit low for a reason because this series has been all about the unders recently. Under is 10-4. In their last 14 meetings, Donnie, dating back to 2018. It's been 3 straight unders, and 5 of the last 6 meetings have also gone under here. And say what you want, Jalen Hurts, really good against everybody else on the road except, the NFC East. 6-6 straight up, 4-7-1 against the number against the NFC East on the road. I'm all for an under here, Donnie. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I voted for the under here tonight at 40.5.
I think it makes some sense. I do. I'm not looking. The Eagles should be able to do enough to win this football game, which, again, questions, can they do enough to win by a touchdown? But I don't see this game going to a shootout. 28-24, I don't see that happening here. More likely for an under for me as well. But now it's time for a little action on what the people can make some money off of today. Here comes. Bye. You got baseball, you got hockey, you got college football, you got NFL football, Joe. It's a smorgasbord tonight on a Thursday. Where are you heading for some money?
I am going to go college football, and it is going to be ugly, people, which is exactly the way I like it. Kennesaw State, first-time FBS competitors now who have been actually pretty darn good. They're at home, and they're getting 6 points here against Louisiana Tech. Now, they've won 3 straight games, and they've won them because they made a switch at quarterback. This kid, Amari Odom, has been absolutely fantastic. Didn't play week 1 against Wake. He came into the blowout game against Indiana, and you know what? Did a really good job against that Indiana defense here. Now he's definitely the starter, completing 72% of his passes. He only has 1 interception in 81 pass attempts since he has started here. And you know what? Louisiana Tech offensively, awful. Defensively, they're good, but they're good, Donnie, because they're +8 in turnovers in 5 games. And you know what? Those 8 were all interceptions by the defense. You hear what I just told you about this kid, Odom? He doesn't put the ball in harm's way. This is far too many points for a road team on a short night to go into Kennesaw State, who is every game they are looking to prove their worth. I think they get it done. Not only, Donnie, am I taking the points, I'm sprinkling a little something on the money line here with Kennesaw State tonight.
Ooh, Kennesaw State, man. That's where the action is going to be for me. I'm going to keep it in the NFL, and that's with the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm going to lay the 7. As Cam Stewart was on with us, there's 7s out there and 7.5. If you like the Giants, make sure you get the 7.5. If you like the Eagles, make sure you get the 7 points here. Case in point, short work week here, banged up Giants. Maybe a little bit different if it's a full week here. Get the rookie more involved, get a better game plan together, and Malik Neighbors in that lineup along with Slayton. They're both out tonight. I just don't see the Giants moving the football effectively. And if we take a look at when they were healthier in the past, 6 points against the Commanders. They did have a high-scoring game against the Cowboys. 9 points against the Chiefs here. 21 against the Chargers, which was nice, and then goes back to 14 points last week against the lowly Saints. I don't think they get more than 16 points tonight, which means the Philadelphia Eagles will be in the 20s with enough points to cover that spread. The Eagles, -7 for your boy DRS tonight, Joe Ranieri.
I love it. I'll be playing them, Donnie, in the first half, and I'm going to be looking for an opportunity to jump back in the second half. Hopefully, they have figured some things out here, but I think A.J. Brown is poised for a big night.
We're poised for another big show on a Football Friday tomorrow, so make sure you sleep in and hope those Philadelphia teams win. At least I will be. We'll see you tomorrow morning, bright and early.